So I'm Sam Barrell. I'm a Director of Business Development at Sonder. We are, to those that don't know, operators of service apartments and hotels, beautiful spaces, technology-enabled solutions. We currently have 5,500 open units with a further 11,000 in the pipeline. So we're growing at a rate of knots. Really good question. So I think historically we were seen as a service department operator. I think since we've gone from the US to Europe, there's been this recognition that there's a huge opportunity to take everything we've learned from service departments and apply them to hotels also. And so the majority of what we've been signing in Europe, I would say, is actually hotel product as opposed to service department product. And this is typified by we've signed a wonderful property in Atala, right on the heart of Paris. Some of the rooms overlook the Eiffel Tower, which is clearly everyone internally knows which rooms they are, and you try to book them. But no, it's and it's just the start. So we've brought in some really fantastic people. So we've just had Jean Charles join us at ex-IHG, ex-Interstate, who's heading up that market. He's to everyone that knows him, a real heavy hitter and a really lovely guy who's really driving the French market forward. But I think that's just the beginning. So Paris is kind of the first pin in the map. We're going to be looking at south of France and considering every market that has a demography that fits the Sonder model, which is kind of historically markets that have decent leisure demand. It's a really exciting time. So it must have been about 3 weeks ago we had our bell ringing party, which is all our SLT were invited to the NASDAQ to ring the bell, and it was like a celebration for what has been 6.5, 7 years of hard work. I mean, I've been here for a year and I've seen an amazing transformation from even when I joined. So I cannot even begin to imagine the journey they've been on. But so the whole idea is we've listed the NASDAQ, so we're a publicly traded company. This obviously carries an awful lot of benefits in the sense it's released a load of funds for us to now pursue our aggressive growth agenda across Europe, North America. And for me personally, I cover United Kingdom and Ireland, but our growth agenda is, we've just signed many hundreds of units in Dubai with assets over 300 units in individual buildings. But I look across France, as discussed, South France, Paris. I mean, we've just signed 200 units in Rome, which is highly exciting. So really making a dent in the Italian market. Highly prevalent in Dublin, but frankly, we're just getting started. We are going to end up in pretty well every major leisure market that you can imagine across Europe. So and in terms of the structures we employ, it's typically fixed leases. So it's quite a useful structure in that you can underwrite a compelling business case early on. So if you're dealing with a developer or a landowner, they know from kind of day dot as to whether it makes sense to work with Sonder and collaborate to create beautiful spaces that deliver a return that they can basically underwrite from day one. Really exciting times. We've brought in some fantastic people, and there's a real buzz about the place. So it's great. I keep hearing about all the fantastic historic recharges. So Barcelona is one that seems to be referred to a lot. It's my first time, so clearly all anecdotal. But no, so I was invited by Dexter Moran, and of course, it's been wonderful. I think it's really unusual in the sense that it's a really high quality delegation, really focused, really senior. But there's an informality to it all. So there's lots of spontaneous opportunities to have conversation. It's kind of fun. I will certainly be putting my hand up to come back. The nice thing about this event is that it crosses different asset classes within kind of the alternative segment. So, I mean, our tour yesterday was great. We looked at co-living initially, and then of course service department operators, and then finished at the 25 hours, which is of course a really cool property in Garden North. And of course, today we've kind of picked up where we left off, and beyond that, I mean, I think for me, everyone's incredibly friendly and welcoming. But I mean, I'll always answer this way. It was really great getting out for a run with other delegates early this morning around the Euro Disney area, which was awesome. But we had some really useful conversations, made some good connections, and as I say, I hope to be back. It feels very different from other conferences, um, in a positive way. So yeah, absolutely. I will certainly be back myself. So yeah, thank you very much for having me.